Well, here we are with the new R1250. I've had it for a couple of weeks now, and it's done the 600 miles for the service, and it's now fully serviced, which means I can go beyond 5,000 RPM, where it's legally permissible to do so, of course. But what I want to do today is to try a short trip, 5 miles or so, and just share my thoughts. I do stress that I'm not an expert, and any views expressed are in my humble opinion, and that's all. But it's certainly an improved bike. For all intents and purposes, it's the R1200 with a much better engine. There's more to it than that, of course, but simplistically, that's all we've got here. I also think that they've improved on the suspension. This is a TE model, so it has the automatic suspension, and I found it absolutely fantastic. It's an even better, safer ride. So let's get it started up, and let's take it for a spin, and let's see what we find. The other thing I need to mention, of course, is this this TFT screen. Really nice. I was a little bit concerned initially that it might be full of bugs and glitches, but I think it was, and I think they've kind of cleared them out fairly soon. So with a bit of luck, the GSA model coming out soon should be faultless. Once again, don't quote me on anything. So we've got the standard screen here. One thing I do like is that the RPM red line is shown at 5.5, and as the engine increases in temperature, so does the red line, which I think is a nice little thing. Starts great. One of the things I did notice straight away was that the engine is appears to be much smoother, and I'm kind of guessing this is down to this shift cam design. I did have one of the twin cams, and that was lovely, full of syrupy power and lots of character, and then I got an LC, and that just seemed all rattly, if that's the right word, and this came along and the engine seems much more smoother. There is more power there, I can tell, and I think the most noticeable thing is that you can't actually see where the cam profile changes. Those of you who can remember the old Honda VFRs, they had a variable valve timing system, and it was quite noticeable when the step came. You could really tell. But with this, the step is well, it's non-existent. I can't tell where it is, and I'd defy anybody else to try and find it either. But here we are, rattling along at 39 miles per hour, all 40 miles per hour in a 40 zone. So I certainly won't get excited. And the engine is around about 3,000 RPM, and it's just ticking over, and it's pulling along very nicely. In fact, I think if I was on my 1200 LC, it'll be a lot more noisier now. So it's doing very well indeed. Can't really comment on the suspension because I'm not really doing anything to test the suspension. Going to turn left here and then head out a little bit, and there's about a mile of quite undulating road, so with a bit of luck it will put the suspension to good test. As I said, once again it's on auto. Let's see if I can flick down just to confirm that. Yep, you can see on the screen I'm on road as opposed to dynamic, and I'm on auto, and I'm just pottering along here now. Engine feels beautiful, a massive improvement on the previous LC. Not that there was anything wrong with the previous LC, but certainly it just sounds much nicer. Right, just wait until I get to the 40 sign, and then there we go. Straight up to 60, no problems at all. Very smooth, very nice. We're just coming up to the first of the bends. They're not particularly tight, but the road surface after this this motorway bridge isn't particularly good at all. And I've noticed on previous bikes that I do get chucked around quite a bit, but on this bike it seems absolutely rock solid. There we go, I'm starting to hit the bumps now. I don't know if it's being picked up on the camera, but the bike's being just thrown about a bit, if that's the right word, but it's handling it absolutely perfectly. I think if I was on my 1982 Kawasaki GPZ 1100, I'd probably be in the ditch by now, but this seems to take it all in its stride. So I'm very impressed with the bike. As for the fact that it's a GS and my LC is a GSA, I must say I have a preference for GSAs. I just like the road presence, and I also like the extended range. I must say that I don't think I'll be rushing out to get the 1250 GSA, because this GS really, apart from the shorter range, is absolutely lovely. I find it lighter, more stable to or lighter to flick about. I think it would make a good track bike. Just going to get down to 30 here as I hit the limit. You never know who might be watching. There we go. And yeah, it feels great. I guess I could always put a spare cam on the back if it really does bother me that much, but the range is around about 200 miles. I would recommend using the super unleaded, because I think you do get a little bit more range, and I think you do get a little bit more performance, so it's worth having, once again, in my humble opinion. But it will run fine on supermarket unleaded, of course. Let's see how quick I can get up to 40. I don't think it'll take too long. Oh, maybe. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's calm it back down again. There we go. Now apparently you can be bimbling along in top and open the throttle, and where the other bikes or the previous engines would grumble a bit, the shift cam allows the cam profile to be changed to get optimum performance at low revs, and then as the revs and speed increase, then the cam profile changes, giving a better performance for the higher revs. At 40 at the minute, and then we've got national speed limit signs up ahead, so I'll see how quickly it can get us from 40 to 60. I've got everything switched on, so the bike shouldn't start rearing up or anything daft like that. but I just want to see how the engine reacts when I pull the throttle back. So let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, you can feel it. You can feel the extra power, the extra torque compared to the previous bike. It's definitely there and definitely noticeable. So I'm going to sign off now. I hope if anybody has shown any interest that it's been an interesting clip. I thank you very much for tuning in, and ride safe. Bye for now.